What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be wrapping the roof of the truck. So you guys know I painted the truck in the garage. If you haven't already, click right up here and go check out the video of painting this truck in the garage. We've actually got a couple videos of painting the tailgate, painting the hood, painting the grill, painting the entire truck, painting the bumper, the door pieces, or the door handles, tailgate trim, everything we painted right here in my garage. And since my truck, well, is a truck, the roof was pretty high. It's got 11 inches of lift on it. We got it down on some 30-inch tires, aired down to get into the garage, but we still couldn't paint the roof. And we can't wrap it in the garage either. There's just not enough room. So what we are doing today is we are pulling the old wrap off and we are wrapping the roof with some gloss black vivid vinyl. I'll have a link down in the description for this. What's on the roof now is actually vivid. It's a matte purple ghost, and actually me, my buddy Justin right here, and my buddy Brandon wrapped this truck a little over a year ago in my driveway. And yeah, it lasted pretty well, but it didn't last as good as I wanted. And about a year later, it was peeling up in places, it was bubbling, and just decided to pull it off and paint the truck this time since I have a garage now. So we're gonna get up there, I'm gonna help him. He's freaking halfway done already, but get up there, help him get this wrap off, get the new wrap on. Maybe do a couple other things in this video, but let's get started on that. All right, we need squeegees, we need vinyl.
And hopes and dreams.
Yay, wrap.
Does this bring back memories, guys?
Hey man, like the video, subscribe. If you haven't, you're slacking, come on.
Yeah, so I'm not ever wrapping the truck again. Here I am wrapping the roof.
The easiest part of the truck.
Yeah, this is one of the easiest ones we did. Next day, and we've got the whole driver's side apart. All the bolts are out of the drop brackets. We've got the whole spring, lower control arm, upper control arm, spring spacer. Got all of that taken out. I've actually got it all over here. Here is our upper control arm with our overspray on it, but our boot is a little bit torn. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's torn. The ball joint itself is still good, just the boot is ruined. And our lower ball joint is a wee bit dunzo. Just a wee bit dunzo, I should call her. We've got our spring, our upper coil tower, and then our shock and everything down there. I think I'm gonna paint the shock too. I think that would just be a cool little touch in there if the shock is painted. But we've got this whole side apart. And if we come over here, I haven't even started this side. We still have the tire on over here. My battery died while I was starting to get this apart, so I don't know what all you guys got to see. But this is definitely gonna be a whole lot of work. A lot of this stuff has ball joint grease on it. It's got road grime, everything like that. So my plan is, once we get everything apart and disassembled over here, I'm gonna completely soak it in super clean. You guys know I love super clean. It's great for degreasing and just great for cleaning stuff. I'm gonna get it all soaked in super clean, set out in the driveway, and I'm just gonna pressure wash it front, back, every corner, get as much of the grease off and then sand it. That way we're not just, you know, clumping up our sandpaper with a bunch of grease and stuff like that. But it's getting close. We've got our secondary color in. I ordered more paint since I had to repaint this so many times because I kept messing up the paint. That's a big thing. This truck looks fantastic. I'm super happy with it. I keep beating myself up because it's not as glossy as I want. You guys can see it doesn't have the perfect reflection. It does have quite a bit of orange peel in it. It's nowhere near as bad as it was, but it definitely does have orange peel in it. But I did teach myself in this garage. I didn't have anybody here helping me. I had some help over messages and phone calls, but I didn't have any actual physical help with painting this truck. And with that being said, I'm very happy with the reflection and turnout I have. But the bumper turned out the best. The bumper looks sick. I mean, really, you can't complain with that flake. That flake is absolutely insane. So I'm gonna jump over on this other side, start getting it pulled apart, and then maybe at the end of this video we'll be able to start cleaning this stuff, and tomorrow start getting it prepped to be painted. And just like that, our suspension is completely out. We now have the Lieutenant Dan mod up in front of the truck. This side came apart a whole lot easier, but the ball joints were a lot worse on this side. My upper ball joint on the driver's side was still good. The boot was torn. The one on this side has quite a bit of play on it. And then this passenger side ball joint is pretty freaking rough. Yeah, it's pretty freaking rough. So it's getting all new ball joints while this is all apart. I need inner tie rods, but there's a Heim joint steering setup that I plan on doing with this truck after Daytona. It just wasn't in the budget before Daytona, so those will have to wait. And so I'm probably just gonna spray the tie rods black, just do a really terrible job, because I am gonna be replacing inner and outer tie rods with Heim joint steering. So that'll be something for you guys to look forward to after Daytona. If you guys have one of these two-wheel drive cat eyes, you guys know these rack and pinions, the inner and outer tie rods, do not like anything wider than stock wheels. I go through inner and outer tie rods every single year on 14 wides. So hopefully this Heim joint steering setup will change that. But we have this all apart. Now's the time to get it all out here and soaking in some super clean, and hopefully get it all cleaned up. It can dry overnight. First thing in the morning, I can set it up, set some of it up on that pallet, and start getting some of it colored, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm damn ready to see this new color. Now, like I say in a lot of my videos, this isn't perfect. This is not going to be perfect. This is a DIY job, or like I've been trying to call it lately, it's a BIY. It's build it yourself. So many people take their vehicles to shops, automotive places, things like that, to have work done on them. They take their stuff to a powder coating place and have it powder coated. Then they take it to a shop and have it put on. I want to do it so I can teach you guys that you can paint this stuff at your house put it on your truck yourself, and it still looked great. You can still go to shows, still be in a booth for a large company like Move Bumpers. This truck's gonna be in the booth at Daytona, and I've completely built it myself in a driveway. I've done it all on camera for you guys to see. So it's not gonna be perfect. There's gonna be flaws in the paint. There's gonna be flaws in the paint on this truck, like there is. Because I did it myself. I didn't have someone teach me. I didn't pay anybody to do it. I did it solely myself. That's what I'm trying to teach you guys. So if this doesn't turn out perfect, I told you now, it wasn't going to. But I guarantee you, it's gonna have a lot of people looking at it, and that's the whole point of it, right? And we're gonna enjoy it, which is even more important. So let's get this stuff cleaned up. Alright, so these are the components that I've decided I'm going to paint purple to match the truck. Everything else I'm going to paint the other color. I got to thinking, and it's going to look better to have more of the other color underneath the truck than what matches the truck. So I figured these two things touch each other. As you know, you got the upper control arm, lower control arm, then you have the spring spacer, drop brackets, the shocks, and the bump stops. So I figured I would do these in the purple and do these in the other color, and I could at least show you guys in this video us getting some color on the suspension, and I'll make the whole next video about our secondary color because I think you guys will absolutely love it and I want it to be in its own video. Now, I went in and I scuffed all of this up. All the powder is still very good on these pieces. Now the pieces where the powders wore off is in the areas where the spring is in constant contact with metal, such as the lower control arm. We have a spring isolator cup, which is that little circle thing right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that sits, well, this is the top of the spring. We've got the bottom facing up on both sides, but that sits on the top of the spring in between the spring itself and the spacer. So that keeps it from being metal on metal. So I'm not super worried about the top and bottom of the spring, and I'm not really worried about the bottom of the tower. Now I think I'm gonna do a coat all the way around this of purple, and then I might flip it over, I might not. Just because it's a spot that you're never going to see there. The only time you'd ever see if there's paint there or not is if you took this lift off. And if you're taking the lift off, you're either one, repainting it, or you're putting a different lift on. So not really worried about that too much. We're gonna get all this stuff primered. I'm gonna move everything down here out of the way. We're just gonna get a light coat of primer on here just so it gives the paint something to adhere to right away. Then we'll get some paint on it.
My kids, they'll be ballin'. Got a real bankroll, not for Instagram. My mama on the line, keep calling. Praying for me, know I need all that. Told me it's not about ballin'. Real blessed, but I'm still sinning, man. What would you do for a win? What would you do for your friends? What if this life is a foe? What if it all is pretend? What if you roll to the end? What if you started again? This is real life, not a game. I fight my battles to win, but some people go to war for none. Me, I go to war for some. Some people need knives and guns. Same ones just talk and run. Some people go to war for none. Me, I go to war for some. Some people need knives and guns.
Okay, so I just finished the last coat, and this stuff looks insane. So this time, unlike when I painted the truck, I sprayed 2 coats of the color, which is single stage metallic, So it's colored, clear, and metallic flake. And then I mixed in some of this clear coat right here. This speed coat, National Rule Speedo Line Clear. I mixed some of it into the same mixing cup that I poured my paint in, so it started to mix in with some of the old paint. I poured it into my gun, which mixed in with the rest of the paint in the gun, and I sprayed it until it ran out. And then I did a complete other mixing cup of clear 4:1 ratio, and it had a little bit of the paint that was in here, but not very much. It was mostly clear, and then I sprayed it. And guys, these came out insane. Now, the whole reason I mixed the clear in with it is because I want to test something. So you guys see all the orange peel I have on the truck. And unfortunately, off camera, I have resprayed this truck, the entire truck 3 times. I've resprayed some panels 4 times. The first time I sprayed it, you guys know I had a lot of the runs and the waves. And if I could go back, I would have just laid paint on top of that while it was wet and then laid clear on it. But you live and you learn. Well, I sanded that down, well, I scuffed it, and then I sprayed again. And that's when I got really, really bad orange peel. And I sanded the entire truck down, and I sprayed again. And then I was pretty happy with it, but I had a lot of spots that had runs and had waves. Well, not a lot, but I had certain panels that had some. So then I tried to fix those spots, and then I had hard tape lines. So then I completely sprayed those panels. I sprayed the whole driver's side, bedside, the passenger side, cab corner, back door, and fender, and still has a lot of orange peel. Well, I thought I'll let it dry and I'll try to do a light polish, put a wax or ceramic coat on it, and maybe it'll level some of that orange peel. Well, I've already tried to polish, and I got what's called tiger stripes. Let me show you. Now, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but you can kind of see it. There's some lines in this fender. You can't see it looking at it from the side, but you can see it looking at it from the side. There you go. You guys can kind of see it there. That is called tiger striping. It's because you start to break into some of the metallic flake that's in this single stage. So with single stage, you have your color, you have flake, and then you have a little bit of a clear that's added into it. And when you spray that, there's like a millimeter surface of clear coat. And to polish that off, not only does the paint not last as long as it doesn't have any more UV protection, but you start getting into the flake, and that's what gives that weird kind of tiger stripe look. So I wanted to test on these if I could mix clear in with this paint and spray it and not have a chemical reaction. And so far it's turned out great. So once we get the suspension back on, I think what I'm gonna do is scuff up this whole truck. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just gonna take a scuff pad. I'm gonna scuff the whole truck. We're gonna tape off the whole windshield, the roof, since we have the wrap on there now, the windows, door handles, everything underneath the truck will be taped off. Unlike before when we didn't tape anything off, because we were painting it, now it's all gonna be painted, so it's a little bit different story. So we have to tape off the entire bottom of the truck, whole back window, roof, everything, scuff it up. I'm gonna spray one coat of color. I'm gonna mix in some clear with some color, spray that, and then spray a couple coats of just straight clear. Now what that's gonna do is add depth to the paint. Now you think depth, it's just like the word you're thinking, deepness. It's gonna add thickness to the paint. So it's gonna add a layer of clear, and then you're gonna have your color underneath. And you're gonna be able to see that distance in between the clear and the color. That's where the depth comes in. I've done a lot of research on this now, and I wish I would have done it in the beginning, but I didn't know what any of this stuff meant. I kind of had to do it to figure that out, and that's why I'm doing it. I'm not making you guys do it. I'm gonna document my process along this. I'm not gonna hide anything from you guys. When I fail, you guys are gonna know. So we're gonna stuff this up and shoot some clear on it because I can't get rid of this orange peel. And yes, this stuff, it looks fantastic, guys. Like, it absolutely looks fantastic. This paint is insane. Like, you see all the flake in it. This paint is insane, but it has orange peel, and I am not happy about that. I want it to be perfect, and I want it to look great for when you guys come to the Daytona truck meet and you guys see this truck. You guys can see all the hard work and time I've put into it. I've had a lot of people ask me about how much money I have in it, how much time I have in this paint and everything. I will cover that in a whole separate video, but just want to kind of update you guys on what's going on. So once this dries, we'll get it out in the sunlight for you guys to see it, and then I'll close this video out. So, see you then. Okay, our springs and spring towers are completely dry, and look at the difference with these. Let's get the camera to focus. See how you can see the sparkle in these now without any type of lighting? Like the truck, you have to turn a light on to see the sparkle. Like this shines even more with a light, but you can still see the sparkle in it without a light on. These things look insane. But the only thing I noticed is, let's bring this out here, is, wow, just look how shiny that is. They are a different color. I mean, the truck looks blue in this, but they definitely are a different shade. Now, I have more paint on the way. I have another quart of this Fire Mist Purple on the way, and my plan is it's supposed to be here Saturday. So by Saturday, all of this should be back in the truck, hopefully. Hopefully. And then we're gonna pull the truck in here, stuff the truck up. Unfortunately, I can't pull the bumper off and paint it separately and get the whole truck in here to close the garage door. If you guys remember, I had to take the front bumper off and pull the truck up, almost touching the wall in order to shut the garage door. So we're gonna have to paint with the garage door open, which isn't the end of the world, but it's another way for stuff to land in the paint. But we're gonna just do one coat of the purple. We're just gonna do basically a dust coat, because we're just gonna stuff the truck up just enough for the paint to stick, do a dust coat, and then mix in clear, do a clear with the color, and then just do straight clear. I'm gonna try and do 2 coats of clear on the truck. Hopefully get a finish like this, because if we get a finish like this, I will be very, very happy with it, because wow, that looks insane. So if you guys made it this far in the video, go down, hit the subscribe button, drop a like on this video. The next video will be covering painting the new color of the suspension, and I promise you guys are gonna love it. It's only mixed with this purple. I'm gonna do the same thing with it, mix some clear in with it, and spray that. And it will look absolutely amazing. So, like I said, if you haven't already, go down, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.